Welcome to a brief training video on Fettle and Color Curves. Color Fettle allows custom curves to be created to apply specific corrections to individual color channels such as red, green, blue, hue, saturation, and so on. They do not require qualifying a key to select the area of the image, but they can be used in conjunction with these tools if needed. There are three types of Fettle or curves available: YUV, RGB, and HSL. Each have a grid of 9 graphs. Tapping on each graph in the 9 grid menu brings up a larger editable version of a specified graph or channel. As you look at the grid of 9 thumbnails, you will see that each thumbnail shows an axis. At the end of each horizontal axis, you will see a coloured node that represents the colour you will be affecting, and in the vertical bar, colour nodes for the direction of the colour you are adding. Let's take a look at YUV in closer detail. YUV is represented in 3 colour channels, 1 luminance and 2 chrominance channels. Y equals the luminance of your image. It doesn't affect any colour, it simply affects the light and dark of all of your colours in the picture. U equals the blues and yellows, and V the magentas and cyans. Now look at the grid, each showing 3 columns and 3 rows. As you work down the grid, the colours affected will be Y, U, V, or in RGB mode, R, G, B, and the same for HSL. These we call input colours, as this is the colour we choose to affect. Now look from left to right again in Y, U, and V, and so on for the other graphs. These represent the output colours and will be the resulting colour that you create. So, for the first graph, we'll use that rule of Y, U, V. In this graph, we're looking at Y in and Y out. What this means is we are choosing the luminance in of the image and changing the luminance out. Using the same rule again, the next graph shows Y in and U out. This affects the luminance by adding either blue or yellow to the resulting image. Both RGB and HSL work in the same manner using the same rule as explained for YUV. For example, R in, red in, and R out, red out. H in, H out means hue in and hue out. I can also choose to grade a specific colour. Simply select a colour in the image by tapping on the screen to pick the colour. This will bring up a colour point or crosswire that locates the specified colour's position on the graph. Use this crosswire to mark points on the graph and edit the colour on a particular range. The further apart the points on the graph, the wider the range of colour affected. Each graph also has some additional tools for making the session easier. There's a zoom tool for precision editing. And in HSL curves, there's the ability to rotate the view of the grid so that the colour you're interested in has focus on the centre of the graph. You can use restrict to constrain your points to only move in position along the path rather than freely in the default manner you've just seen. You can also set the shape of the curve by choosing from the blue selection tool and choosing from a series of options such as curved or linear, which will affect the shape of the entire path. There's even a tangent mode that allows you to affect the handles of a curve. Remember, you can use these curves in conjunction with all of the other grading tools such as shapes, keyframes, and HSL Select. Thanks for watching a brief training video on Fettle and Color Curves by Quantel.